What up YouTube, it's your boy Anime Specialist. So this episode of Fairy Tail was okay. I didn't really like it in particular, but there was some interesting things to talk about, so let's get right to it. Last week's episode, Elsa was able to defeat one of the Spriggan 12 with Bizca's help. She used Jupiter to destroy some of the ships, and that helped Elsa to defeat Ilgia. And I think it took a lot out of her, so I don't think we'll see her in a while. I think she'll rest for a while before she rejoin the battle. And then in this episode, another one of the Spriggan 12 was taken out. Obviously we know her pretty well. We know her more than the other members of the Spriggan 12. Her name is Brandish, and the way that she was taken out was pretty funny, so because she has some allergies, Kana was able to just knock her out, and it was pretty funny because she's a Spriggan 12, so she's one of the strongest characters in the show, and she was just taken out like that, so she's now gonna be one of Fairy Tail's prisoners, so we'll have to see what's gonna happen with Brandish. In this episode, we saw Gray, Lizana, Juvia, Elfman, and Mira Jane fight some of the enemies, and I think one of the enemy was one of the Spriggan 12, if I'm not wrong, but his magic was quite interesting. I think it's the first time that we've seen that kind of magic in the show. So basically his magic was to create some soldiers that can counteract the magic of his enemies. So the soldiers had the weaknesses of Gray, Juvia, Mira Jane, and the others. Obviously, we know that Gray's weakness is fire because he uses ice, and Lizana's weakness was stronger opponents because she's more about speed, So that was kind of a cool magic to see in action. The solution to beat them was pretty easy to do. The only thing that they needed to do was exchange opponents. So Juvia was basically going against the guy that could use fire, and on for the other guys. So it was pretty easy to beat them. Anyway, we saw the personal guard of Laxus. I don't remember their real name, but I know that Evergreen is in this, and the two others, I don't really remember their name, but they were going against a kind of cyborg or something like that. I don't really know if he was one of the Spriggan 12, so I'm not sure if they defeated a third Spriggan 12, but we'll have to see in next week's episode. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments down below. But they were able to defeat one of the enemies, and at first they didn't know that he was a cyborg, so they tried to turn him into stone, but it didn't work. There was a whole other kind of sequence with Ichiya that I didn't really care about, so I won't be talking about it. But at the end of it, they were able to defeat this kind of machine. I really like the end of the episode because it's not only about Fairy Tail, we all know that the Alvarez Empire is the enemy, but it's coming into another continent, not only Fairy Tail's continent, but Lamia Scale's continent. We all know that Sabretooth is there, Mermaid Hill or something like that too. So all of the guild will come together and fight the Alvarez Empire, so that's gonna be great. So let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was all that, especially the part with Ichiya. I really didn't care about it, but I think next week's episode will be way better. I didn't watch the next episode preview, but we'll see, man. I do Fairy Tail reviews every Saturday, so subscribe for that. And I do other anime related things like Black Clover reviews on Tuesday, The Promised Neverland reviews on Thursday, and Fairy Tail, like I said, One Piece and Sword Art Online reviews on Saturdays. So stay tuned for that. My next my next video will be One Piece. There's a big episode tonight, so stay tuned for that. It will be the best episode of One Piece in a while, so I'm hyped about that. But yeah, man, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.